So, welcome everybody to my first video on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll probably delete this at some point, but just thought I would give it a go. Yesterday, someone said to me, if people have something to say, they should say it. Actually, yesterday was Losar, the Tibetan Lunar New Year, also Chinese New Year of the Wood Dragon. So it's kind of a good time, I think, to start things. And my intention is to start a platform for people to hear what I'm saying. And so this is number one. I don't know what will happen in the future, how many more of these I'll do, but I'm very open to requests and questions and suggestions. So if there's anything I say that you don't understand or you would like me to elaborate on, like if I say someone's name and you wonder who that is, or you would like to hear what I think on another topic, please get in touch and I'll be happy to hear from you. So this is going to be a short video and it's about the benefits of meditation. So I think meditation is really not difficult. What is probably the most difficult is understanding why it's necessary. It's just not really taught to us in our culture as as we grow up. All of our attention is encouraged to be outside of ourselves. And I believe that where energy flows where attention goes. So our attention flows outward and our energy also flows outward as a result, and that drains us. It depletes our energy. Whereas if we turn our attention inwards to our mind, to our experience, to our thoughts, to our feelings, to ourselves, then I believe the energy that follows that actually strengthens us and strengthens it becomes a resource, like an energy resource and a resource of stability and a resource of strength. So we kind of need to give ourselves time to practice that. It's a habit. we're not in the habit of really being with ourselves. Actually, there's 3 words which you kind of hear every day, which could be a way in. And those words are, how are you? And the tendency when we answer that is to be very superficial, but I believe meditation is about kind of tuning in subtly to what is really going on for us in our minds, in our experience, in our thoughts, and our feelings. And one of the results of that, one of the benefits of that is to know ourselves better, actually. We start to see clearly our patterns, which is very useful. We start to see clearly what it is that we want, which again is very useful because it can help with boundaries, and give ourselves, I don't know, permission maybe to stop doing the things that we don't want to do. It also helps us to see what we're doing. The I believe the suffering that we experience is most often self-created, and it's done unconsciously or automatically. So by being aware of what we're actually doing and aware of why we're doing it can somehow free us from these unconscious habits, unconscious patterns, and help us to be unstuck. It may take some time because they're so, I don't know, they're so deeply habitual, but I believe it is it's a way out. It's almost like we're bound with a rope from head to feet, and in our hand we're holding a tiny razor blade, and each moment of awareness we can um, start to cut through the rope, the thick rope, uh, one thread at a time. So we start to see how we are, and it's not really about um, changing that or doing anything about that. It's more about being with it. Many people think meditation is an exercise in discipline, concentration, not being distracted. And I think it's more about practicing acceptance. So if we can right now just tune into the present moment. For ourselves, in our body, our breath, our thoughts and feelings, then bring an attitude of trying to accept it just as it is, or as Mingyur Rinpoche would say, just as it is, just as it is. Just be. And this skill is developed step by step, gradually, every moment. Starting with very easy, neutral experiences and gradually expanding to include more and more difficulties, to include the parts of ourselves that cause suffering, like the inner voices, the inner critic, the inner judgment, to include everything without discrimination, without saying this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. Then slowly, we can just allow ourselves to be authentic, to be who we are at any given moment. And this present moment is according to Mingyur Rinpoche, is the manifestation of awareness, or the expression of awareness. So anytime that we connect to the present moment experience, it could be a sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, thought, feeling, perception, memory. Whatever it is in the present moment is also getting familiar with our awareness. So our awareness is our true nature. So by seeing the present moment, we are getting familiar with the truth of who we are on all levels, on the superficial as well as the fundamental. And actually, the teaching is, I mean, I'm not going to be able to explain everything about meditation in this video, but the teaching is that our awareness is actually vast and pure. and free from suffering. It's kind of like space. Space cannot be stained by the objects or the weather or the occurrences within the space. The space itself is not changed, and that's how awareness is unaffected, unconditioned by our ups and downs. And that freedom actually is the ultimate kind of resource or refuge. Because it is beyond pain and suffering. It's beyond ups and downs. And it takes time, step by step, to really appreciate that. One of the other benefits of learning to accept the present moment is we learn to actually be with the difficult, traumatized parts of ourselves. We learn to hold them with kindness. We learn to actually just be with ourselves, and that is healing. That's fantastically healing, because most people think there's something bad about themselves and they try to either avoid it or deny it or ignore it or suppress it or get rid of it, or it becomes the shadow. And when we can just simply embrace every part of ourselves, even the parts that we don't like, the parts that cause suffering, then they can heal in the light and the warmth of compassion and kindness and unconditional love for yourself. And it just starts very simply, just simply accepting the present as it is. So it's very healing and strengthening. And we start to see very clearly what we're doing, what we want. And the result is that we actually really start to change, transform our lives into more of an alignment with what's real, who we really are. And with the truth. So if you believe in truth, like me, actually someone said, ignorance of the truth creates suffering. So it's a good way to stop creating suffering by learning to see the truth. And someone also said you can only see the truth when compassion is present. People only allow themselves to see the truth when compassion is present. So to me, that means mm, the preliminary step to seeing the truth is really this unconditional love, or this willingness to accept yourself. And you can actually very easily just relax into this space. Like, you can try it right now. And just allow yourself to be. And you can have an attitude, or even say it, that whatever you are in this moment, you will allow it, and you will mm, not not fight it, not resist it. Just let go of resistance. It's simply like relaxing, really. Meditation to me is more about relaxing than anything else. So this kind of acceptance of the reality of yourself uh, has a wonderful consequence of, well, it's a resource, as I said before, of peace, and it's something that no one else can give you or take away from you. It's, you carry it with you, and it's always there. But it's also it's tuning into your true nature. And your true nature is, I believe, what our um I believe it's what we have at the center of our life, of who we are, and everything else um around us kind of emanates from that. So basically what I mean is, it seems that our life is a reflection of our mind. And the more we can um, just relax our minds, the more our sense of contentment and harmony with ourselves develops. And that contentment and harmony then seems to expand outwards, so that we actually start to see that reflected in our situations, in our relationships, in our families, in our friends, in our um, work and in our environment. Because we are somehow creating the reflection of ourselves in our environment. And when our inner environment is peaceful and harmonious, it will extend to the outside environment. Maybe not immediately, but gradually. So we are basically, through meditation, learning to be a friend to ourselves. Or you could say, like, the best friend. Milarepa said, dwell alone and you shall find a friend. So we're actually, as you know, always with ourselves. And if we're kind of in an antagonistic conflict with ourselves, it's very difficult because we can't get away from that. But if we are loving and gentle and nice to ourselves, then it changes every moment of our experience. So kindness means here not resisting, not fighting, not judging. You don't need to judge yourself or beat yourself up, or you just simply allow each moment to be what you are, who you are, how you are. Every aspect of your experience is simply accepted with love and kindness. It's not about dissociation. It's not about ignoring. It's more about just being and being in touch, being connected to yourself in a non-judgmental, non-resistant way. And that has huge benefits. So I guess that's the main thing I wanted to say. And if you are in any way interested in contacting me, I would be happy to hear from you. So all the best to you, and Happy New Year for the Wood Dragon. Thanks for watching. See you soon.